And let it go through the mouth. And as you let go and exhale, just letting go of all the effort that has brought you to this point in your day. पूरा जो भी दिन भर की थकान है मेंटली इमोशनली उस सब को अपनी सांस पे दोबारा छोड़ दे. And let's take one last deep breath. लंबी सांस लास्ट बार. बिल्कुल अपने lungs को फुला लें. Fill up your lungs, your belly as much as possible and hold the breath. Hold करो breath को. Hold it, hold it.
You would be interested?
And let it all go. Keeping your eyes closed despite whatever disturbances there might be. Just keeping your eyes closed. Let's bring them together in prayer position if you feel called to. And honoring all our ancestors wherever we are. जहाँ पे भी जिस लैंड में भी हम हैं, इंडिया में बाहर, इंडिया के बाहर, जहाँ पे भी जिस लैंड में हम हैं, honoring the ancestors of that land, the past, present, and emerging ancestors. Also honoring the ancestors of our original land, जहाँ पे हमारी धर्म भूमि है. The past ancestors, present ancestors, and emerging ancestors. Also honoring all our teachers, mentors, guides, whether in physical form or in energetic form. Thank you for guiding us. Thank you for being here. Giving deep gratitude to the angels that are around us today, whether in physical form or in energetic form. Thanking all the divine goddess archetypes that are here today to guide us through our inner journey. Let us surrender to them. Let us completely trust in our own higher being, that we are here today to discover something new, something more about ourselves, or perhaps just to share or just to imbibe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just be in silence for a few moments. If you wish to thank anything, anybody in specific, you can do that now. And we're going to go straight into a quick grounding meditation, lowering your hands to your lap, palm facing upwards, keeping your eyes closed, and starting to connect with your breath. Taking another deep breath in through the nose. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. And exhale loudly through the mouth. Letting go of any energetic or physical burden or pain or tiredness that you might be feeling. Bringing the left hand, the palm of your hand or the fingers of your left hand to the center of your chest, जहाँ पे heart chakra होता है. Connecting to your heart, keeping your eyes closed. And connecting your breath to your heart center, slowing down your breath even more. Breathing in on 4 counts at your own pace, breathing out on 6 counts. As we go deeper into the connection with our heart, perhaps it might be the first time you're connecting with your heart, or perhaps it's just another day. Remembering who you truly are, allowing your breath to slow down even more. Feel, think, sense, or imagine a spark of light at the center of your chest. Continue to keep your finger or the palm of your hand on your heart center and use any of your senses to feel, sense, imagine, or visualize a beautiful white spark of light at the center of your chest. With every breath that you breathe in, that spark of light begins to expand and move to your entire body. With the next breath in, that spark of light flows down towards your legs, and at the same time moving upwards towards your shoulders and your neck. And with the next breath in, it expands to cover your entire body. The light of your consciousness covering your entire body. Stay connected with your breath. Stay connected with your heart center. Allowing all outside noises, distractions to just melt away like butter. You are only in the here and now, surrounded by the light of your consciousness. And with the next breath in, it begins to expand, that light from your heart center, expanding to cover the entire space in which you are. And expanding with the next breath in to cover the entire room in which you sit or you're lying down. Open, expansive. This is your true nature. And with the next breath in, the light of your consciousness expands outward further still, filling the entire city in which you are. The light of your consciousness expanding to the entire city, easily, gracefully. Your light covering the entire city. And still the light expands with the next breath, covering the entire state and the entire country, wherever you are. Staying connected with your heart center Placing 2 fingers on the center of your chest or the palm of your left hand, and allowing your breath to slow down even further. Open, expansive, feeling into the light of your consciousness that expands now with the next breath to cover the entire world. The light of your consciousness covering the entire earth. Just allowing yourself to be silent for a few moments and feeling into the beautiful glowing light of your consciousness.
दूसरा कौन
Stay focused. And still the light expands to connect with all of us together, our collective light together, encircling the entire globe, pure, soft, conscious. Stay focused. Taking a deep breath in through the nose now. Lowering your hand to your lap, taking a deep exhale with your mouth, through your mouth, and let it all go. Coming back, bringing some gentle movement to your fingers and toes. And only when you're ready, opening up your beautiful eyes. Take your time and open your eyes only when you're ready. And once you are, if you have some water, just take a sip of some water. Or you can just grab some water. You might need it today. Towards the end of my talk, we will go into deep meditation, and all of my deep meditations, there's a lot of expansion that happens. So water is a good way of nourishing our oxygen levels. So once you are back, you can just grab some water if you don't have some water with you, and maybe a notepad and a pen for you to note down maybe things later. And let me know in the chat box how you felt, how you're feeling now. Just type in the chat box. So thank you. And if any of you saw any particular image or maybe any archetype, just type it in the chat box and just we'll come back to that. So I am just trying to, just give me 1 second, I'm trying to present. I think there's some problem with my laptop, just 1 second. Just give me 1 second, please, sorry. Okay, so welcome to the Divine Feminine. It may be, if I can just ask in case any of you, what drew you to today's session? If any of you know about the Divine Feminine or what you think of it, maybe just type it in the chat box. I also want to share, it might be a little different from what you might be expecting, but do share what brought you to the session today. Even if it was the title, what was in the title? Like, was there curiosity, or was there something that you wanted to know more about, or you have been, maybe some of you have been getting the word feminine or divine feminine in your across कुछ भी पढ़ते हो या आपके sense it's coming in your surroundings. So just type that in the chat, and I'm going to share a bit of it's not a presentation, but something I thought we can get started to know. Okay, just a moment. Present. So just let me know if you can see the presentation. Maybe if somebody can unmute and just say.
Yes. Now it is visible.
Thank you. Oops. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so one of the things that has been happening over the last couple of years, especially the last decade, there is a rise of feminine energy, and I'll share more about that as I go along. What is happening is there are a lot of women who are coming forward to talk about different aspects of their life, right? So if we were to look at, so what I call it is, it's something like a women revolution that is happening. And what I mean by that is, whether it is in the industry, whether it is in corporate, whether it is in media, whether it is in show business, there are a lot of voices of women that are coming across, right? So, and why that is happening? Because over the last many hundreds of years, when we look at whenever there has been a huge change in society, it has been when there has been a revolution of women, when they come on and they start taking charge of their own selves, their own situation, and also the people surrounding them, right? So there was a big revolution which happened around the 1900s, and especially in Europe and America. And around that time is when it took some time, but that is when women got voting rights. Women did not have voting rights for a very long time, right? And also in when we look at in the 60s and 70s, when there was a big revolution of women, that's when there was also a change in terms of how women are viewed in the corporate sector, especially in the Western world, right? And how whether there were there was the way the number of women in leadership, number of women who were given opportunities, a lot of that changed. And in the last 10-15 years, the voices, if we say, especially the voices, because it is the era is moving towards a more flowing capacity. What is happening is that more and more people are wanting to break barriers, people are wanting to break biases, people don't want the constriction or the boxes. So agar hum dekhein, there are a lot of people who are talking about gender, not wanting to identify as any gender. So a reason for that is happening is because the way there has been a very strong, highly masculine energy over hundreds of years, especially between from 1600 till the 20th century, till the Second World War. There's been a very massive masculine energy. And if you see, there have been a lot of abuse of power also that has happened, a lot of where different aspects of masculine, the negative masculine energy, I would say, has been brought about. So countries fighting over power, countries fighting over land, and all of that has, the masculine energy has been contrived into the shadow archetype, or the negative aspect of the masculine energy. And because of the negative aspect of the masculine energy, what it has also done is it has suppressed the feminine energy. It has suppressed a lot of the women power. Even when we look at India, like I'll come specifically to India in a bit. So what is happening because of that, that suddenly there's a lot of the news that we hear, a lot of girls are topping CBSE results, ICSE results. There are a lot of women across, a lot of girls who, if we look at the results, I think last or 2020, there was a study that showed where the number of girls who have above 90%, who have first class, or 90% is a much larger percentage than the number of boys who have secured that, right? So the tide is turning, the wheel is turning. And before we get it, so that does not mean that we're going to go into an extreme feminine mode, but what that means is people are also wanting to go into that, not wanting to box themselves. And when we look at, one of the aspects of the feminine energy is flowing energy, right? So women are mostly, when the feminine energy is in power or is positive, it is in flow. It is not, and what happens with that is we are able to be expansive. When we look at the positive aspect of the feminine energy, when we look at the positive aspect, for example, of mothers, it's that expansive flowing energy. And that is what people are wanting to grab onto. And before we start moving into a more balanced or neutral zone, which will actually not be masculine or feminine, it will just be a person, a human being, right? Now, why am I talking about this, right? So one of the big things that people ask me is, why do I talk about this? So let me share a bit of story. The divine feminine aspect actually came to me 2.5 years back. I had just finished my second level of the PLR therapy, and there was a lot of channeling that had suddenly opened up for me. And I think I had been channeling. I didn't know that I was channeling when I was much younger, in my 20s. Even most of my tarot readings are channeled tarot readings. I mean, I didn't, वो नाम नहीं पता था, but it was, that is what it was. And so when that happened, I started understanding what is it that what is it coming to me? The biggest thing around, I think this was around March sometime, what happened just before the pandemic hit India. During one of my channel messages, I had this massive message from the Earth Mother. I had connected to the Earth energies and what was happening. And some of in fact, my friends over here, I think they might have heard that. Fortunately, I recorded that message, and it was as if, there was not Bhavna over there. The cosmic, the Earth Mother was speaking through me of how much pain we have been giving her, how much destruction we have been giving her. And around that time, there were massive fires across Australia. Had been massive bushfires. In Chile, and the Amazon forests were being burnt. And then there was this entire new thing of the pandemic starting to happen. So, and how, the whole climate change. So it was a 45-minute, deeply destructive, I would say, I mean, not destructive to myself, but a very Kali like of energy that connected. And the message that came was that Kali has to take over. The Earth Mother has to take over because we have pained her. We are, we have brought so much of destruction to Earth that it is time for the Earth to take over. And ever since then, there have been different messages that have been coming to me in different archetypes, right? So one is what the conditioning that we've had over the years of the patriarchal nature or the negative masculine energy, where along with that, the suppression of feminine energy that happened. And then the time of what is going to be coming over the next couple of years. So I'll talk about, what is going to come in the couple of years in just a bit. And as I go into that, just a moment, let me just... So I wanted to just give a brief introduction about myself. So one of the big things that I do is I work very closely with women. It doesn't mean that I don't work with men. Of course, I work with men, but because ever since the divine feminine energy has come in, I have been asked to work with that a lot in whatever I am doing. And what that also means is that in different aspects of the work that I do, whether it is looking at trauma and relationships or manifestation work, specifically in relationships, or releasing of karmic patterns, all of that is done with different aspects, and healing of the feminine wounds and balancing the feminine and masculine, and womb healing is a lot of the aspect that I work on. So some of you might have gone through the womb healing. Some of you might have worked through the feminine wounds, and especially the ancestral feminine wounds. So when I'm talking about ancestral feminine wounds, aapne suna hoga, Ma, has given examples of where there is a lineage of women in a particular family where all the men have passed away. Either the husband has passed away early, or there has been divorce or something else, and things have changed, and suddenly most of them are women who are there, right? So there are there is a karmic pattern that exists there, and there is likely to be a feminine wound attached, or even the feminine wound. So for example, the land where I am right now, I'm in New Gurgaon. One of the biggest pain areas is that land has been abused through wars and a lot of fighting over many, many centuries. And so that land needs healing, a particular kind of healing. And because I also do work with earth, through my meditation, what I have been asked to do is to work through the channel of healing that particular earth. So it was all of a sudden that I moved to Delhi NCR, and very all of a sudden, out of the blue, that I moved to the place that I live now. And when I grounded myself, and I asked the land, what is the reason I'm here? That, that was, what I was told. Now, how long I'm going to be there, I wouldn't know. But that is one of, how the work starts to change. When we start to bring in that feminine energy, many people also start to discover what their purpose in life is, what the reason why they are being shown certain aspects of their family, or maybe they have chosen to heal their family lines. Now, even if you are a male, right, there, of course, we know that there are feminine and masculine aspects in everybody. So even for men, there are aspects of either it could be, is there a overcompensatory aspect of the feminine? So, for example, somebody I had worked with, I work with closely, he has a very, he's extremely emotional. He is very caring, but that is what is happening is that over care and over emotional is actually going against. So we have to balance that feminine aspect, right? Or caring for others, or over giving. Sometimes it might be a feminine aspect. So usko balance karna padta hai. And so whether it is less or it is more, we have to balance either of that, right? And during the, as I'm speaking, if there are any questions, please usko aap comments mein dalte raho, so that main usko during our talk itself, I will try and address those. So what does that, what does tapping into your divine feminine energy mean? It could mean different aspects. It could mean that one is the patriarchal conditioning, emotional vulnerability, saying at it as it is, because especially the throat chakra, and your divine feminine juiciness, which means the sensuousness of our aspect of the feminine, and the feminine fierceness, right? So if we look at each of them, I'll just check the time. Okay. So patriarchal, I'm going to मैं इसको short में बोलूँगी, so that I want you to go through the meditation, because the meditation we'll work through some of the archetypes. Patriarchal conditioning, what has happened, like I already said, patriarchal conditioning ki wajah se, it has been affecting our day-to-day. So on a day-to-day basis, what does that mean? It means, for example, one of the things that somebody had mentioned, that the laws that we have, right, in our country, the laws, there was never a law for the daughter after she got married. The laws have recently changed for ancestral property, right? There was never a law if the daughter continues to be unmarried for a long time. There is no law that would protect the daughter. It was either you're married and you have a husband, or you're a widow. But if a daughter is remains unmarried for a longer period of time, there wasn't a law that would protect, or there aren't rights that specify this, right? But over a period of time, the legal system is also changing. The number of women who were when we are in the corporate sector, for example, it's a classic example how we become more aggressive, how we have to get stereotyped. That, in fact, a lot of times when I was in HR, so I would hear this from business leaders all the time, that I want, she's too soft, or she needs to be aggressive, or they wouldn't say it. In some organizations, they also said it, that, she has to be more of a man. Now, we don't have to become a man, or a man doesn't have to become a woman to be successful or do projects well or be professional. That is a wrong notion. But because it has been taught that there is a typical job description of how a successful leader has to be in the corporate, we have been just using that. A woman, a lot of organizations did not, for a working woman, they did not have a place where, especially factories, for example, did not have places where if a woman was breastfeeding, there was no, first of all, there were no women loos in a lot of factories, even till about 5 years ago. Factories suddenly started having women's loos. There were, genderless loos, but that has changed, right? So a lot of the patriarchal conditioning of how we look at laws, the legality, the legal system, how we operate in the corporate world, all of that has been from looking at from a patriarchal and a negative masculine aspect. So why do we need to change that? Because everything is not the 5-day working system, the 8-hour working system. In fact, there was a study I think by one of the US universities that actually described why is it an 8-hour or a whatever 9 to 5. A 9 to 5 will never work for a woman because she is multitasking all the time. And so 9 to 5 was made because essentially men would go to work and they needed a set time, that this is the time we work and this is the time that we play, or we go for golf, or we go go drinking or whatever. But a 9 to 5 never works for a woman. A woman will be able to give her best when there are breaks in between, right? She will be able to do all of it in the same 8 hours, but if there are breaks in between. But it's only now that corporates have started understanding flexible working hours, right? So moving on to the next one, emotional vulnerability. हमें बहुत बार लोगों ने बोला है that stop being a baby, stop being a girl. Men are not supposed to cry. Boys don't cry. And somewhere emotionally vulnerable, अगर हम vulnerability दिखाते हैं, even as women, it is taken as a weakness. Emotions dikhana is taken as a weakness. And it is called the weaker sex. But emotions dikhana is actually being open to vulnerability. It takes a lot of courage. Many of you I know are healers who are working in the healing world, different healing techniques. And most of you will know this. If we are, for example, showing our vulnerability or saying that I don't have the energy to do this today, or I am feeling emotionally drained, it takes a lot of courage to say that, to tell somebody I need a day off because I need to take care of myself, or I need a day off because I want to be with my child. Sometimes it's also just wanting to be with your family or your baby or your child. So that emotional vulnerability has been masked and has been stamped as something negative. And now a lot of people are talking about that, how mental health issues are coming up because we have not been dealing with our emotions. And agar emotions ke saath deal nahi karenge, if we don't know how to show it, either it will show up as a physical ailment, or it will show up as somewhere in our mental health, right? And the third aspect of being a divine feminine is saying it as it is. A woman does not suppress her voice, neither does she gossip, neither does she say things to put somebody else down. Now, these are very controversial statements agar koi khali sunega. But our divine feminine, when we are in touch with our feminine essence, we will be in flow even with our voice. We will say things, whatever is coming naturally to us. But what happens is we are told, don't show your emotions, don't say this. अरे ऐसे कैसे बोल सकते हो? ऐसे कैसे तुम अपने husband, father, brother, बेटे को बोल सकते हो? So what happens is वो suppression होता रहता है. The suppression of the voice creates a lot of issues. Thyroid problem is one of the number one issues that a lot of women have. right? And or PCOD, PCOS. Why has it become so prevalent in the last 15 years that even girls as young as 8, 9 years old, I know of girls who are 8, 9 years old who have been diagnosed with PCOD, PCOS. The reason for that is either they have whatever, of course, there could also be aspects of the food or the nutrition or lack of nutrition, but also aspects of what they have seen. If somebody, a girl has seen her mother's voice being suppressed, a mother being beaten up, and a mother having no say in the house, but to the outside world everything is okay, the child might develop either thyroid related issues which show up later on, or PCOD, PCOS. Does it mean everybody has that? No, it doesn't mean that. But what I'm saying is, when a woman is in natural flow, when she's in touch with herself and in touch with the divine feminine self, she will not say hurtful words because she doesn't need to, because her caring and loving and nurturing nature is operating. She will say things that will make sense to the person. She will be inclusive, so her words will be inclusive, even when she's trying to put boundaries for somebody. The words will be softer, right? Then the feminine fierceness. So this many times we associate with the feminine, whether it is a feminine revolution that is happening, or the women's revolution that has happened, or for example, Rani Lakshmi Bai or Joan of Arc, or even other fierce, some of the newer fierce leaders. Now that happens when there is a huge shift that needs to take place. There is an aspect of there are some people who are privy to this. Some people have also said that all this massive pandemic that happened, it was one of the archetypes at play, feminine archetypes at play, right? So why is this fierceness? Now the fierceness happens if we look at the archetype of Durga or Kali. Why is that in Hindu mythology? Because when things become, again, when they became very masculine, when they become negative masculine, when there was an imbalance of masculine and feminine energies, it had to shift. So sometimes a temporary revolution needs to take place to bring about that change. When a woman in a household, if we see, if there has been suppression, massive suppression, but when the mother, it will mostly be when the mother sees that her child is being affected, or her child is being hurt because of what is happening in the family. The mother will gather all the fierceness and strength to fight that, to protect her child, right? Though it is a mother archetype that is at play, but where fierceness comes because a change needs to happen, right? Now this fierceness is again a positive fierceness, because it is for a change, and it will not to hurt somebody in particular. It will be for the to look at what is the best way forward, what needs to change as a belief system, or what needs to change as a behavior. It is not directed to one or a group of individuals, right? Then the next aspect is feeling your divine feminine juiciness. No, so what does this mean? The divine feminine does not hide from the aspect that she loves sensory pleasure. She loves her food. She loves the cooking, right? Especially when a woman is cooking, or even when a man is cooking, it is the feminine aspect that is coming, right? To nurture through cooking, to nurture through different smells, the smell of the fragrance of the food, the fragrance on the taste of the food. All of that, the awakening the senses, is a very feminine aspect because it is in flow. And another aspect is when looking at beauty and the nature, right? Nature is very, very feminine. When there are, especially now it is springtime, there are flowers in bloom. The flowers change their color according to different times of the day. That is all in feminine. Hello? Yeah. Okay, so that's also, that is an aspect of the feminine flow. Now, what happens when we are not in feminine flow in terms of our senses? We will start wearing black. Black becomes our favorite color because we are afraid of our bodies, or we don't like our bodies because we feel there's something to hide, or we don't like it. Now, black can be somebody's favorite also, but that it will not be the only color in your wardrobe. So one of the things I remember that happened in between, that a lot of the color in my wardrobe was very stale. It was black or very bland colors. And I realized this is not who I am. And so, I changed it. And you will be surprised, even if you are not changing something from within, but if you're changing the wardrobe and if you're changing the colors that you wear, you will feel different. You will react, you will act differently. Your behavior, it will uplift your mood instantly. Wearing makeup and nail polish is not just because we want to hide our flaws. It is because the act of feeling the beauty is a sensually pleasure. It is, women find joy in in doing that, in putting nail paint or makeup. It is for their own joy and sensory pleasure. So another aspect of it might be, for example, are you do you is there a very strict regime that you follow because of food, right? That no, I will only eat this kind of food, I will not eat, I'm on a very strict diet. Now, for a particular point of time, it might be good, but over a period of time, a feminine will, if the feminine is balanced, we will always be in flow in terms of adding different elements, different tastes in our food as well. We will also be experimenting with different tastes. Similarly, sound, music, dance, moving with your body, that is all the feeling into our senses, right? And so the question is that what kind of life do we really want to create? Right? So I want you to just think about for a moment, out of these different 5 aspects, what really connected the most, what did you connect the most to, or whether it is, I'll just put it up here. So whether it is, don't look at it positive or negative, what just really hit you hard, or you just felt that, oh, I really feel this, or this makes sense to me. So was it, something about emotional vulnerability? Was it being fierce and really feeling into your own feminine power? Or that you need to voice out how you're feeling, voice out your opinions, voice out just talking, maybe you haven't spoken your truth in a long time? Or is it, feeling that sensuousness, sensory pleasures? Or is it that, wanting to bring about change in how the situation in your workplace might be, or in your family might be, right? So just type in the chat box which of these aspects might have called to you. Emotional vulnerability, conditioning, saying, fierceness, or sensuous, sensory pleasure.
Sorry, Bhavna, could you repeat your question, or like what do you want from us?
In progress.
Sorry. Yes, what I was saying was that out of the different aspects that I spoke about, the feminine aspects, right? So, where do you feel in your, what spoke to you? So, some of you might felt that, okay, I'm not, maybe my wardrobe, for example, is one color. Maybe, I never thought about changing it. Or some of you feel that your voice is being suppressed, like you feel that you have a constant cough, right? So there are 5 different aspects that I spoke about. So out of that, was there any aspect that spoke to you or you felt connected to?
Okay, okay. That's for now, right now, what you're feeling. Okay, thanks.
Yes, right now what I spoke. Yes, another one is very common is expressing without getting emotional. And that is actually a very, it doesn't matter, when we are truly in flow, it wouldn't matter whether somebody's thinking we are emotional or not, because we are just expressing, right? So there's a part of or an aspect of patriarchal conditioning that comes in. Like if we look at an example of, when a man gets angry, he never thinks that I should speak without getting angry. It's not so common. And I just want to share that these are just examples to narrate. It's not that I'm against men or I'm against masculine energy. It's just to interrelate between masculine and feminine aspects. Almost all, okay, yes. And if you feel there wasn't nothing much that you could relate to, that's also fine. You can put that you something didn't really call out to you. So that you can also put that, and we'll work through that. So as the others are answering, what I'm going to do for the next 10 minutes, I will take you through a specific meditation. We will come across different archetypes, and whatever those archetypes are, whatever the message that might be, we will just take it as it is. So let's just remove all our filters, whether they are of what we know, because when we look at archetypes, some of them might be Hindu, some of them might be other archetypes, but they are not, because I work a lot with goddesses and goddess energy. So you might see goddesses, but look at them as archetypes. So for example, if you feel that you are Lakshmi or you are Durga, that is the archetype of Durga. So what does Durga represent? Durga represents a fighting for what is right. Durga represents a warrior energy because it is required, right? So, or Lakshmi represents abundance. She also represents making, it's not just about money or lack of money that you have to make money, but it might be maybe you are not seeing aspects of abundance in your life. So goddess energies will come, because that is something that I wanted to cultivate. And बहुत सारी goddesses है, so अगर दो तीन भी आती हैं, just let them come. We will just be in flow, right? Okay, so I'm guessing most of the people who wanted to responded. So we are just going to go into meditation. And if you, for the next 10 minutes, just make sure you are undisturbed, because for some of you, it might be going pretty deep. And if you have some water, maybe you just want to have some water before we start. And whenever you feel ready, just closing down your eyes once again. And taking a deep breath in through the nose. And letting go through the mouth. Relaxing your shoulders. Relaxing your neck. If you need to, just relax. Taking another deep breath in through the nose. And exhaling through the mouth with an audible sigh. Just let go of all the heaviness in your heart, in your throat, in your neck, around your neck, or anywhere else that you might feel it in your body. And let's take one last deep breath in. This time, take as long a deep breath as you can, breathing in, breathing in, breathing in, breathing in, and hold. Hold the breath. Hold the breath. Hold the breath. And let go with an audible sigh. Completely letting go. And slowly connecting to your breath. And allowing your breath to slow down just a little bit more. Breathing out in on 6 counts, breathing out on 8 counts at your own pace. Keeping your right hand, so for all the women, keep your right hand on your womb space. And the men, keep your right hand on your solar plexus. And your left palm on your heart center, on your heart chakra. And as you breathing in all the way down to your solar plexus, to your womb space. And exhaling all or any heaviness, anything that you need to let go or release through the heart center. Slowing down your breath even more. Feeling the connection between your heart and your womb or your solar plexus. Feel, sense, imagine, or visualize a beautiful white light coming from the top of your head, flowing into the top of your head, into your heart center and down to your womb space. And through your womb space, down to the earth, to the center of the earth. And through the center of the earth, it moves up back again to the sky and moving down from the sky to the top of your head as if forming a loop. Allow yourself to feel the divine energy, the divine light from the top of your head, through your heart, through the solar plexus and womb to the earth. And feel Mother Earth's energy grounding you even more. As you continue to breathe in slowly, every time you breathe in, that healing light begins to cover your entire body. And with every exhale, you release and let go of any aspects that are not serving you into the Mother Earth. Belief systems that have been holding you back. Times when you did not voice your opinion, or your voice was stifled, or you were asked not to speak. Allowing all those memories, aspects to go into Mother Earth. Allowing ourselves to open up to the divine energy of the feminine, balancing our feminine and masculine aspects. Breathing in pure white light of the cosmic consciousness and releasing even more aspects of any conditioning, what you were told as a child, what you could or could not do as a girl, or perhaps even now. Or if you were told that don't shop too much, don't eat too much, don't put makeup too much, don't dress up too much. Any of those labels, just letting all of that be released into Mother Earth. Any times that you were told not to show your emotions, not to be vulnerable, not to cry, not to be kind, be careful, be fearful, all of those aspects, let them go into Mother Earth. And as you release more and more into Mother Earth, you will begin to feel a warm pink energy coming to the center of your chest. That warm pink energy and light will begin to surround you as you release any or all of these aspects more and more. Just letting go. And if tears come or anger comes, just allow it to come. The feminine aspect does not suppress anything. She just receives and observes and allows it to happen. Allow the pink light to permeate more and more of different parts of your body, healing your womb, healing your solar plexus, and releasing all that does not serve you, the labels, the belief systems, anything that has been stopping you from expressing your femininity. Releasing that through the womb into Mother Earth. Breathing slow and easy. Allowing the pink light to move through your entire body now. Some of you might be seeing blue or purple light, and that's okay too. Allow it to just merge with pink or orange or white. Just allow it to work through you. And we have different archetypes of the goddesses here with us. As I say each name, I want you to just know and realize which one do you connect with. It could be one goddess or more than one goddess. Just notice today at this time what message you need to receive and from whom, and your heart and intuition will guide you in the right way. Staying connected with your heart and womb and solar plexus. And one by one, I will call out each name and just take and stay with that name. Isis, the Greek goddess of healing, protection, and magic. Durga, the goddess of protection, inner strength, and warrior energy. The Kali energy that brings about a revolution. Pachamama, Earth Mother, and the goddess of fertility from the Incas and the Andes. Radha, the goddess of romantic longing. Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance and good fortune. Saraswati, the goddess of language, insight, and sound. Green Tara, the goddess of compassion and wisdom. Isis, Durga, Kali, Pachamama, the Earth Mother, Radha, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Green Tara. Which goddess energy is speaking to you now? We will go into a few moments of silence and allow you to receive her message. And know that you might hear, feel, sense, or see the message either in your body or emotions or mind, whatever happens, just allow it to flow. Moving into silence now. And allow yourself to be in her energy field for a bit slightly more time. Just receive. And it's time to now just say goodbyes, knowing that you can invoke this energy anytime. Thanking the goddess energy and the divine feminine and your higher self for being here. Taking a deep breath in now, lowering your hand to your lap or your knees or your thighs, and exhaling through the mouth. Slowly bringing some gentle movement back to your fingers and toes. Another deep breath in through the nose and letting it out with an audible sigh. We're just balancing your energy, stretching if you need to, taking your own time to come back. And once you're back, take a sip of water. Take your time and feel free to share if any of you would like to share anything. You can unmute or share it in the chat, but take your own time.
Now, do you mind if I speak?
because it takes me long to chat. Right. Type.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I said it takes me long to type. So do you mind if I speak?
Yes.
I just got 2 messages seeing Durga, protect and create. 2 things. That is what I felt.
Okay.
I don't know what it means. I mean, whatever I'm thinking, protection for the weaker people. Maybe.
The message that you were guided on was for the purpose. And वो clarity और आ जाएगी. It'll come in the coming days. But the protection is that you have to offer protection. And जो आप काम अगर आप कुछ काम करते हो या professionally नहीं भी करते हो, so you have to offer protection to people, and intuitively you will get it in the next couple of days. आपको वो clarity मिलती जाएगी.
I should do this repeatedly. The meditation which you
आप जब ध्यान करते हो,
हाँ जी,
which goddess it come?
दुर्गा.
हाँ, so just
नहीं, वैसे तो जब ध्यान करती हूँ तो I do it for शिव जी, that is God. But अभी मैंने जो विजन देखा वो मतलब दुर्गा देखा मैंने.
हाँ, तो आप जब ध्यान करते हो तो आप just spend 5 minutes with Durga and ask her for clarity.
Thank you.
जितना आप ओपन रहोगे वो आपको क्लैरिटी मिलेगी. Durga will definitely share it. So if Durga has come, that means there are certain aspects where जो protection है, maybe while you're protecting other people, you might need to fight for their rights in some way, or for example, speak up on their behalf to somebody.
And create, what does that comes to?
Create, I feel it is telling you, have you been feeling that you should create a network of some or a group of people or something to work with women?
Okay.
Have you been feeling aisa kuch?
I felt so, but kuch abhi I mean nothing concrete has come. Nothing concrete has been done.
So I think it is telling you that it is time for you to now start creating. जैसा भी, don't you wait for the perfect कि सब कुछ पता होएगा. So जो भी आप create कर रहे हो, I think right now कि I feel कि 3-4 और लोग हैं आपके साथ जो मिलजुल के आप you can work for especially people, women who are in the lower strata of society. There's something coming up for that. तो आप उसको थोड़ा सा ध्यान दो और आप journaling वगैरह, अगर automatic writing आपको आती है, maybe start. So what you can do is जब दुर्गा के साथ आप कर रहे हो ना, जब ध्यान करते दुर्गा के साथ, so just ask Durga and then जो आप book में बस लिखो जो भी आता है ना, just write. Okay. And we can discuss separately, no problem.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maji.
Hi, I just wanted to add to this. If I'm not wrong, Parvati's form, another form for Parvati is also Durga. So if Umaji is worshipping goddess God Shivji, maybe it's an indirect message to create or maybe like she's asked for something to Shivji from Shivji, and this could be an indirect message through goddess Durga.
Parvati ka hai, yes, but right now the Durga energy is coming, so Shivji ka hota hai, but because there was a lot of goddess energy, so what happens is, irrespective, the message is very clear for her, and many times that's why I said, even though there is a Shivji and Durga connect and Parvati connect, it doesn't matter. The message is Durga की जो energy form है, which is for changing something, for protecting, that has come to you and you have to work with the Durga energy. तो वो
Okay,
होता है.
okay.
Thank you, Manzira. Let me just see the chat. Anybody else wants to share?
Few messages in the chat only. No?
Sorry, Shakuntala Hanji?
Few messages are there in the chat only.
Yes,
So,
yes, I'm just
good.
checking that. Okay. So with the goddess Kali, but no messages. So Yachna, Kali is the goddess of revolution, right? So I saw some messages on जो हमारा WhatsApp group है. Maybe that spiritual revolution is something that she's calling out for you too, and a new aspect of yourself. And so just notice कि maybe last couple of weeks में या फिर अभी आने वाले couple of weeks में, is there something that has been really let's say irritating you, or you feel कि ये क्यों हो रहा है, something that you have to like really change. So अगर गुस्सा भी आ रहा है वो notice करो that गुस्सा is coming because of Kali is getting invoked. So don't suppress मत करना काली को. जो भी आ रहा है उसको आने दो.
Okay, good.
And
So one thing you said that something spiritual revolution you just now mentioned. So yes, since many days, many weeks, months, I can say, yeah, I am feeling very kind of desperate and जैसे छटपटाहट जो होती है ना, to do something in there, but I'm not able to get any direction, any where to start from. So yes, as you said, I would like to wait and as it is coming. Yeah.
So just what you can do is just start from anything, just one thing. Abhi, I think you've been watching different videos or
Yes,
जो आप
yes.
attend कर रहे हो. Start with maybe connect with one person to start with.
Okay.
And then I think somebody had mentioned that कि आप 3-4 लोगों से अलग लोगों से बात करोगे, you will know कि okay, do I feel a connect with this person or do I not feel a connect? So even if it is maybe through your conversation, through dialogue, you will start getting clarity.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Sure, thank you. Okay, there was somebody who also said Saraswati, tears from the right eye. So Subhi, let me just see what Saraswati is saying. Subhi, have you been neglecting yourself in any way?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, I have been neglecting myself. In fact, during COVID times, I have been very pessimistic and I have been on a path of something not exercising and all that. So I have been diagnosed with the BP and some other health problem.
Okay, so, let me just, I think she wants to share. So I'll just speak on behalf of Saraswati. So Saraswati is very pained क्योंकि आप अपना ध्यान नहीं बिल्कुल ध्यान नहीं रख रहे हो. इट इज नॉट कि आप फिजिकली कुछ कर रहे हो या नहीं, बट आप मेंटली और इमोशनली अपने आप को प्रायोरिटी नहीं दे रहे हो. एंड sound is something she wants you to work with. She wants you to सरस्वती का एक मंत्र होता है, वो बोल रही शकुंतला जी से पूछो कि सरस्वती का जो मंत्र होता है उसका मंत्र का जाप करो, so that सरस्वती energy comes in you and you start to जो अच्छी अच्छी चीजें हैं, सेंसरी प्लेजर, स्पेशली साउंड का, म्यूजिक सुनो जो आप इंजॉय करते हो. मंत्र तो आप जाप करो कि सरस्वती का, उसके साथ जो नॉर्मल म्यूजिक होता है, बॉलीवुड म्यूजिक होता है, उसको म्यूजिक को सुनो. शी इज ऑल्सो सेइंग दैट किसी टाइप का अपना म्यूजिक के साथ, या तो आप डांस करते थे कभी?
Bhavna, since last 3 weeks, I've started going for my music class. I've just
Okay.
got enrolled in a music class, classical vocal. So since last 3 weeks, I am attending music class.
Okay.
No, I
So,
wasn't dancing, but I'm very fond of freestyle dancing. I love
so she's
dancing,
asking you
but
to move with the just use that, because when you are going to move with your body, it is you're reconnecting with your body. You'll be healing your body in some way, and that healing needs to happen, because that healing will be through love and care. जब हम डांस करते हैं ना, तो मतलब हम बिल्कुल फ्लो में होते हैं, हम बिल्कुल मतलब अपने आप में ही गुम हो जाते हैं. So she is asking you that that is very much required right now. तो उस पे please she's asking you to do that.
oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Subi.
And is there any implication of the tear coming from the right eye
The
while
tear was of
meditating?
sadness that you are not focusing on yourself, you're not prioritizing yourself. She was saying that left eye and left eye say Tiarana was a good sign. Right says right now for you that you're neglecting yourself. And also she's asking me to say this, that apni eyes ka dhyan rakho. Are you overexerting your eyes in any way?
Hmm.
Okay. तो एक बार आई चेकअप करा लो आप.
I just got my eye checkup done last week from a super specialty hospital.
Okay.
All is well.
Perfect. Good.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you for the
Subi.
guidance.
Okay, Aman is okay. Yes, Amanjot, many times Durga and Kali might come together because there are different aspects of the same, right? So what happens is protecting your honor. So just notice, and if you want to connect offline, you can, reach out to me. So in what way have you been dishonoring yourself? And I am getting the message that you have actually been doing, you didn't know that you've been dishonoring yourself for a long time. It is only recently that you have realized that what is happening, and it is time for you to bring a huge revolutionary change. So please work through that. It is very, very important. Otherwise, Kali energy will come for, to really change and revolution. She'll bring about a revolution, which will basically be that you will be forced to change that. So don't stop. Kali and Durga energies coming to you to hold you and give you strength to make that change and to change. Especially अगर आपके साथ family वगैरह है, how do you bring that change with your family around? And there was one more thing. And anger, yes, anger will come. Anger is both a Durga sign and a Kali sign. Rage is completely Kali sign, and rage will come when you are not listening to your anger, when you are not acting what your anger is because of. So anger, there's a reason for that anger. वो anger को आप सुन नहीं रहे हो. अगर आप नहीं सुनोगे, वो rage भी होएगा. And it'll go to a extreme extent. तो उसका ध्यान रखो. And take some action. I feel you already know what action, but you are hesitant because either because you feel it'll hurt somebody, or that you're not supposed to act like that, or you're not supposed to be like that. Let me know if you have any questions, and you can reach out separately also, Manjot. Urvi, so your face, you saw your own face as an X-ray. Okay, I think there's a message. Let me just check what that is. okay, the message that I am getting is that what have you been ignoring about your own self? What are you refusing to see? There is an aspect of your own self. It could be some physical image, or somebody has somebody has given you, like, sometimes people say hurtful things. So just go back and see if there have been any hurtful things that people or somebody, I feel that there's one specific person who has said that either when you were a child or when you were growing up, and that memory came to you recently. And if that memory has come, it has come for you to start clearing up that belief system on the memory. So wo trauma ko hatana hai. Let me know if that resonates with you. Varsha ji, okay. Yes, you already know, you've mentioned, so yes, it is, there's a lot of work that you're already doing, and there is a lot more that Kali is asking you to work through. And many of us will receive a lot of messages from Durga and Kali, especially over the next 2-3 years, because next 2-3 years will be a massive shift. वो जो हम बैलेंस की बात कर रहे हैं, वो बैलेंस लाने के लिए Durga and Kali energy is required. So we will, many of us who are already working in different aspects through different healings or through with some other people, we will be called to either be an example on our own or work with people to bring out that Kali and Kali energy and Durga energy. Because जब तक वो massive shift नहीं होएगा, society में shift नहीं आएगा, society में shift नहीं आएगा, families में shift नहीं आएगा, families में shift नहीं आएगा, earth में shift नहीं आएगा. So next 3 years, 2022, 2024, 25 are big energetic shifts, big spiritual shifts, and women have to take the lead. Most of us, it doesn't matter whether हम spiritual है या नहीं, हम healer है या नहीं, but we have to become more we have to step into our power. We have to do more as women. What is our strength? And unless वो हम अपने आप को rely, and इसलिए many of us are doing a lot of healing on ourselves, so that we are able to understand कि अच्छा ये actually ये मैं नहीं हूँ, ये मेरा belief system, ये negative belief system है, या फिर ये और कहीं से आया है या किसी ने दिया है. So it is not, I have to remove this, I have to clear my channel so that I get clear guidance of how do I live my life so that I can be an inspiration to others. And even if somebody is not working supposedly, or she feels she's not doing enough, that itself, how you live your life, what is your attitude, how you are taking care of the family, how you're taking care of the children, of your parents, that itself is going to be a huge inspiration. So we have to be an inspiration to others. Our life, or anybody who's a woman right now, or born as a woman, we have to really bring out all the more love and nurturing and caring energy, so that we can be examples for everybody around us. Tabhi wo massive spiritual shift hoega over the next 3-4 years. So last, I'll just take from Kashmira for
Thank you so much, Bhavna. Thank you so much. That was really inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you, Varsha ji. Yes, so Green Tara was blessing you, Kashmira, and I think she, so just soak with the blessings and the love of Green Tara and White Tara. I think both of them actually came together for you, showing you sometimes appearing as Green Tara, sometimes as White Tara. So just receive the blessings. That's it.
Thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Seema
Thank you
wants
so
to
much,
ask
everyone, for
something.
being here.
Seema has raised her hand.
Yeah.
Yes, please ask.
Yeah, thank you, Shankutana ji. Bhavna, it was an amazing, fabulous session. Thank you so much. I have a question, little different. In the beginning, you had shared that women sometimes we have ancestral patterns. So my question in short is, the women who have ancestral patterns of empowerment issue from maternal paternal side, and it has been continued in the ancestry for a long, long time. What can be done to break this pattern?
Okay. Um, so there are, it takes some time. First of all, patience, I think. Patience is very important, but there are different aspects of it. So, for example, there are, I use, after getting to know the details of each case, because it could be ancestral patterns, it could be womb healing, where has it started from, it could be constellation work that we might have to do. So what exactly and we'll have to slowly start clearing it, right? Because many times especially the people that I work with, a lot of them have chosen to clear out these ancestral patterns and clear out many aspects of what has been going on for a long time. So we have to do that slowly, and so that it is because it can be very heavy energy work, but we pace it out. I also run the Divine Feminine program. There are 3 levels to the Divine Feminine program, and it's a group program, Divine Feminine. And usme kya hota hai, Divine Feminine level 1 mein we start to reconnect with our own selves first of all. And what that means is, what does Divine Feminine mean to me? How can I be more comfortable with being a woman? How can I be more comfortable voicing all the 5 aspects that I spoke about? Basically, how can I be more comfortable with all of that? That if I'm saying something, it is not to stop somebody else or to suppress somebody else. It is my opinion, and it is okay to share an opinion. Right? If I am enjoying, for example, I'm enjoying shopping or summer or makeup or whatever, it is okay to dress up. So level 1, we look at that and we start to work with mother and daughter wounds, because mother and daughter may, whether you have a daughter or your mother and you, it could be either cases. Sometimes it has also happened that it is mother-in-law and daughter-in-law we have to work through. So it might be that. Then Divine Feminine level 2 may we go much more deeper into trauma and ancestral lines and wo sab. We start clearing all of that out. And level 3 may we look at conscious masculine side ko agar usme kuch wounds hai wo clear karne ke liye, and then balancing masculine and feminine in the life. So those group programs is also something that I run, because usme group energy ki zarurat hoti hai, and each program is about for 9 days. Each one is different. I mean, the structure is same, but it is different. So every time there'll be something different, because there are all channeled programs, these 3. And otherwise one-on-one आप कर सकते हो, but I would definitely say start to first understand क्या है, and start clearing. If you feel that it has come up, then definitely start clearing it up, because you will feel a difference in your life. There are other people who will start feeling. Of course, ma'am can share a lot more about that, because ma'am has also done so much work in that. But agar aapko lagta hai, definitely work to clear that.
Yeah, thank you
and
so
you
much.
can connect with me
Actually, in
separately
today's
if you
session,
feel.
yeah, actually, in today's session, I had a realization that in our ancestral lineage entirely, they have been lot of women deaths actually. Many from the maternal as well as paternal side, untimely deaths. And a lot of times, what happens is, even though they are male in the family, the women have to play the protagonist or the breadwinner role, caregiving. They are forced actually to be your caregiver, which sometimes really weighs them down. So that I'm seeing a lot. It's continuing in my entire, both the sides. That is. So that's this
So
question
yes,
and
I
this
think you've
thing just popped
recognized
out.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I recognize it only in your session. So thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Wonderful, Bhavna. Both the meditation were superb. I enjoyed. There's one last question. If you wish, you can take. Vaishali is asking something
Yes.
in the chat.
Okay. Okay. So, 1 second. I'm just putting my coordinates and. So, Vaishali, I think थोड़ा आपको womb space का healing करना पड़ेगा, and even your root chakra. I think वहाँ तो the root chakra is a little overactive, तो उसको थोड़ा balance करना है, and sacral chakra जो होता है उसको भी check करवाओ आप. अगर if you know how to do it, तो आप खुद check करो और दोनों को balance करना, root and sacral को. And I would suggest work with white light meditation. What I did today, iski recording hoegi, you can do the same thing, or you can, if you know how to do it yourself, just use white light meditation to help you balance this. So 2 things. One is 3 things actually. Root chakra ko balance karna hai, sacral chakra ko balance karna hai, and white light meditation ke saath aap kaam karo.
Okay, but Bhavna, may I know what does it mean by overactive root chakra? Like, what did you mean by that?
So when the root chakra becomes overactive. So, for example, do you have any physical issues, in your lower back, tailbone में या फिर rectum में कुछ issues वगैरह हैं? Do you have any? I'm also getting, though it is not related to these 2 chakras, but are there issues with? Are you having a redness on your skin somewhere?
No, not really, to my knowledge, no.
Okay. Did you have any redness earlier? Complaints?
No, Bhavna, no.
Okay. Okay. So I would say somebody who works with the chakras, एक बार आप check करा लो detail में, because अभी there are a lot of people, so it would not be right to check and scan the body right now.
Oh, okay, Bhavna. Okay, sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I think it was a very interesting and different session. So, I think it was a very different and interesting session, something that we had not expected. So I think everybody was really interested and curious. And like Shakuntala ji said, that the meditations were really deep and profound. Or
Yeah.
very nice. So I think the rise of the divine feminine
Can be
Bhavna
seen.
ne, kya,
It is visible.
It is visible.
Visible.
It is visible, as in our group also. We have a lot of feminine energy, and today with Uttar Pradesh winning and Yogi winning, it's only because of the women that have voted for him.
71% voting by women.
Correct.
Yes.
So I think we are definitely seeing the rise of the feminine, and hopefully it will continue so that we can have some balance. It's not that the energy of the female has to be overbearing and dominating. It has to come to a balance, so that is really the phenomena of being a Ardhanareshwar. You balance the masculine and the feminine energy, and that is how this earth is going to actually create abundance and prosperity for all. So thank you, Bhavna, again. And hopefully Bhavna has put her details. So everybody who's wanting the details, please take it down. Her Instagram profile, her YouTube, and her number. So anybody who wants to reach out and work on your own feminine energy, please do reach out to Bhavna. So thank you, friends. Again, thank you, Bhavna, once more. And
Thank you, Ma.
keep coming to our platform here on Zoom. I know we're putting it live on FB, we put it live on YouTube, but it's always good to be live here with us, So keep coming every Thursday. As we know, we have such amazing speakers that keep coming on our platform. So thank you so much, everybody.